This should be a quick video. The Modern Mystic, yeah. So he's done this video on this monetary crap, and so posted a link to this article by the woman, and her article doesn't really say anything except somehow there's no return on investment, which isn't exactly what she's saying, but she's saying there's no return on loaning. Yeah, that's for sure. Loaning money is not a good business to be in. But certainly buying gold or buying stocks or buying oil was a great business to be in the last 10 years. So if you did any one of those things, or buying corn or wheat, you made really big money. You got lots of interest. So he's saying it's all this stuff is liquid and there's no interest being paid. Well, it sort of is interest. Okay, in the stock market at 1,700, preposterously high number, when just a few years ago it was at 6,000, right? Clearly lots of interest being paid. It's like buying a bond with a 100% interest rate on it, buying the Dow Jones, 5 years ago. So let's not be silly. Yeah. So the game is that there's no suckers to lend money to, is the point. Right? The rich are so rich, they own so many plows, and there's only so many people that can afford to buy plows. And so they've, rented plows to all the people that can afford the plow, and there's just nobody else who can afford it at anything but a dismally low interest rate. So there's no buyers for loaned money because there's nobody who can pay the interest, because only rich people have the money and poor people don't have the money to pay interest. They don't have the means, they don't have the job, they don't have any capacity to afford to rent plows, beyond the fact that they can't do anything with them. Yeah, they can't. So that's more or less, the problem is that the rich have too much money, and so now the only way they can make more money is to put all their too much money in a pile somewhere and pretend it's worth more because they put it in a pile and it's higher or something. It's all bubble, and there's nothing that can be said. It's just bubble money because they're putting it in a some sort of I don't even, there's really nothing you can compare to the stock market, right? I mean, the more you buy, the higher it goes. So you just make more stuff that you buy, give you more buying power, and you just keep buying the price up, and nobody ever has to really pay for anything. Maybe not the best way to describe it, but obviously all the debt goes into these markets in the end. And so the more money that is borrowed, even at low interest rates, goes into the market as a stake in ownership, an IOU. And so even if you're not getting a return on your debt because the interest rate is so low, the fact that you've got somebody to sign the debt note means you can take the debt note to the stock market and increase its value. That's the system. So it's not really the value of debt isn't in the value of U.S. bonds isn't in the fact that the bond is going to pay interest. The value to the rich is that the bond creates debt notes that can be put in the stock market. And then that's where the interest can be made. But obviously if none of this stuff can ever be paid back, then somewhere this whole thing starts to fall. And so it's all leverage. There is no reality. It's just leveraged debt. Alright, yeah, I don't want to make it too long. So let's see where he's going with this. 2, monetary whatever 2. So let's see if he does a 3 and gets to this part where he says it's okay to print cash, because that's the part that's going to matter. We're almost at 1.3 trillion dollars in circulation. The amount of money in circulation is going to be the one to watch, because it's going to start sneaking up. Yeah, and as it sneaks up, the threat of inflation gets realer and realer. And obviously the poor are too poor for inflation. Yeah, because they're already on fuel and food been nailed hard. So anyway, till next time.